like, because it's the holidays, why not start with a Jackal comment that warmed my heart a little bit from this week. Corrections is getting better. I almost laughed once during this episode. Last week, did a bit where I was mimicking the Leave 'Em Alone guy, talking about the Louvre, and then went back to my dressing room afterwards, and Baze came in. He said, I thought you were going to say, Leave 'Em Alone. Pretty bummed. But I did say, I'm like, oh, I'll do it next week. And he goes, I don't think I'm the only one who's going to make that observation. Sure enough, the Jackals were all, never leave scraps for the Jackals. Real quick, speaking of Baze, last week spent some time talking about how Lloyd and Steve are sort of the Office smoke shows. Got a comment from a Jackal saying, I thought Baze was the one all the ladies were happy to see. And they are, for two reasons. One, Baze is a silver fox. And two, anytime you see Baze, that means he's still with us. Let me stress, Baze is healthy. Baze just goes to the doctor a lot, and he goes to the dentist a lot, and he's very dramatic about it. He always comes by my office, he's like, well, I'm off to my teeth cleaning. I guess this is goodbye forever. Makes the whole staff line up for, he calls it the firm handshake line. It's spelled Swarthmore. It's pronounced Swarthmore. So I hope the silent R thing isn't true for all colleges. Hate to find out I went to Northwestern. Oh, I did just think of another college where you don't say the R. Harvard. Guys, I mispronounced Jim. I said Gim. I was talking too fast. The amount of you that wrote in telling me how to pronounce Jim. Somebody really wrote in, it's Jim, pronounce it like J-I-M. Someone said you messed up Madagascar and Zootopia. And as an adult, I'm okay with that. The thing I wouldn't be okay as an adult ever saying is you messed up Madagascar and Zootopia. We had this Acorn Stairlift graphic that was a rocket launched, and someone said, Acorn Stairlifts need a rail. Like that was the design flaw that stopped this from being a good idea. This is in the commercial. I don't know if you've seen the commercial. As they say, it's the stairlift that makes Grandpa say, "Oh God, no!" I pronounced it ogling. It's pronounced oogling, but I'll tell you who doesn't care how it's pronounced. HR. Speaking of HR, this one maybe crossed the line a little bit. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. I waited too long. You guys. Oh, this is really sad. So a Jackal sent me a little ice cube maker, and well, there's no other way to say it. It was the shape of penises. And so, I mean, I don't know. Is it cool to ask your assistant to make you a little penis ice cube to put in your Negroni? In 2025? I mean, sure, Don Draper could have gotten away with it, but was it a good idea for me to ask? Have I given Chelsea the upper hand in her next contract negotiation? And then I was going to take it out, and we were all going to look at it, but look what happened so fast. Aww. No, obviously they're normally bigger, but it's cold. I will say I was worried we were going to have to blur it, but now I think that's safe. It was very graphic, Shoemaker. Oh, hey, you guys, I love a joke as much as the next guy. But even I have my limits. And, you know, we had a closer look yesterday about how Trump pardoned a couple of turkeys named Waddle and Gobble. And someone wrote in, he probably pardoned Gobble because he thought it was Goebbels. No. Not at the holidays. This is when we find time, the things we agree on, not the things that make us different, you know? Things we all agree on, like Nazis are bad. What's that? Oh, that's not a thing we all agree on anymore? So do those people like root against Indiana Jones? No. Definitely a podcast host or two is like, do we really trust us with the Ark of the Covenant? Last week tried a Ray Liotta Kool-Aid Man bit, diminishing returns. You know, I kind of crushed it with the Al Pacino Kool-Aid Man bit, and I was chasing the high, and that's a lesson you gotta learn. You know, sometimes you gotta move on. Don't chase it. Gotta let it go. Gotta ignore that voice in the back of your head. It's like, what if the Mr. Whipple, the Charmin guy, talked like Al Pacino? And you're like, don't do it. You got the win. Walk away from the table, you know? Don't let the casino take all your chips. Not gonna be as funny as when the Kool-Aid Man said it. I'll prove it. Watch.
No matter how irresistibly soft, please don't squeeze the
Great ass! What you just saw is not good enough for corrections. We had a graphic of Trump getting an MRI, and people said, if it's for your brain, they don't put you in feet first. When they got you, they got you. Oh, we also talked about the Venn diagram, that basically, if Ben wrote it, Ben is in it, but if Ben is in it, that doesn't mean he wrote it. And someone said, the Venn diagram is surely wrong. Surely Ben is writing for more things than he's in, so the bigger circle should be the thing Ben writes. But I don't blame you, because you would think so. I do want to bring up the Al Pacino thing again, because, like, it has sparked an interesting conversation in the comment section about, like, the people who do voices for ad campaigns that might sound familiar, but you don't notice till someone tells you. Like Brian Cox, you know, from Succession, Logan Roy from Succession. He's currently doing McDonald's. That's one that came up. Bill Hader, our friend Bill Hader, was Mr. Peanut there for a while, a couple years ago. A brief time in the 90s, Larry David was Tony the Tiger. Hey, you remember that?
Playing hard, you'll come through.
Once more, Tony.
Bring out the tiger in you.
That's it. Doing your best takes practice and smart eating, like this complete breakfast, including the sweet crunch of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Come on, see if you're any good.
Good there.
Pretty good.
Probably could have trimmed that down, but it's fully on me. Hey, I want everyone to enjoy corrections. I mean, not too much, obviously. Once it goes mainstream, it loses its purity. But I am happiest when the people who work here like it. I am happiest when the staff and the crew of this show like it the most, and that is why I was incredibly touched today when, for the Thanksgiving corrections, they sent me this.
My tears gone cold, I'm wondering why. Got out of bed at all. The morning rains close up my window, and I can't see at all. And if I invite you, they'll all be great. By your picture on my wall. It reminds me that it's not so bad, it's not so bad. I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life.
I should add that they only made it for me because I asked them to make it. And the first one was wrong, so I had them do it twice. But it still means the world to me. Hey, I want to address something because a lot of people say this is canned laughter in corrections. This is not canned laughter. Now, if you don't laugh, are you going to get canned? Yeah. We talked about the Reuben sandwich. The Reuben was created in Omaha. Amber's from Omaha. Any truth to that? What's that? She's not here? She's never here? Why is that? Oh, she has her priorities in order. I made a joke about my new sandwich restaurant, Hoagie's Heroes. Someone wrote in, I believe that Hoagie's Heroes is redundant because a hoagie and a hero are both grinders. Which reminded me, I launched my new app this week. It is a sandwich finder app. It helps you find the newest, closest sandwich place, make reservations. It helps you connect with other sandwich enthusiasts. Long story short, though, I shouldn't have called it Grindr. I should have checked to make sure there wasn't another app called Grindr because there has, I think, been some crossed wires and some people are ending up in the wrong apps and I think sometimes it works out great, sometimes it's uncomfortable. I also found out French dip has a second meaning, so check your venue before you ask for one. Someone sent in a groaner of a joke. I'm going to tell you, it's a jackal. They sent in a groaner, but I appreciated the craft, so I'm going to try to make it work. I'm going to try to put a little Seth sauce on it. But this is me doing a solid for someone else. Hey, remember when Al Pacino stopped doing those Kool-Aid ads and he was doing those J. Crew ads? You remember Shoemaker? It was like kneeling down. It was like him and a dog. He was feeding a dog. It was like a crossover ad between like J. Crew and like a dog food company. You remember it, Shoemaker? You know, like bowl of kibble, tan slacks. What was it? Oh, Al Pacino's. How did it go? Some people this is the only part they're gonna watch. Hey, hey, we talked about how the New Jersey state bird is the goldfinch. But if you just just cross state lines, the most common bird in Philly is the Matt goldfinch. If I could be sincere for a moment, I do. Okay. So we finally have our third sandwich. And you know what? It's a blessing because of rule of threes. I have been waiting for it. I have not been able to enjoy my life knowing that the third sandwich was coming. And now that it's happened, we can move on. I don't have to have the third sandwich hanging over me. All right. So if I could be sincere for a moment, I want... Well, that just resets it. Thanksgiving, I'm gonna call a friend. Great. Thanksgiving, I'd like to say a few things I'm thankful for. Certainly this year, can't tell you how thankful I am for the First Amendment. My God, what a good one. And the third, you know? People don't talk about the third a lot, but a couple summers ago, we did have to quarter a garrison of British soldiers, and no bargain. Because, you know, the thing is, when you quarter a garrison of British soldiers, you're picturing, like, I was picturing, like, you know, kind of stiff upper lip, like, pressed. Lieutenant, oh, what I wouldn't give for a lieutenant. But it was those rough guys. They were like, oi, yeah, no party. You call this a sausage and mash? We did not like having them. But I would like to give some genuine thanks to the people who help me pull corrections together every week. Because, you know, they don't get paid for this, but it is, as I tell them every day, their legacy. Tara, Heidi, Milton, Ellen, Mike, those are the graphics team, Devin, Melanie, Lauren, Madeline, Anthony, Ellen and Jared, everyone's giving me dumb props. Alex, Amy, everyone in the booth. You guys, this is really lovely to be with all of you. I hope every Jackal has a happy Thanksgiving. We're gonna take next week off, and you can see me in 2 weeks.